Ever wondered why some people seem to have an unshakable confidence while others struggle to recognize their worth? It all comes down to self-esteem. Self-esteem is the perception we carry about ourselves, the intrinsic belief system that defines our worth. It's like a mirror reflecting our innermost thoughts about who we are and what we are capable of. Understanding self-esteem is crucial because it influences not just how we view ourselves, but also how we interact with the world. It's the driving force behind our decisions, our relationships, and essentially, the life we lead. A healthy self-esteem acts like a life jacket, helping us stay afloat in the turbulent sea of life's challenges. It instills in us a sense of competence and worthiness, enabling us to face adversity with resilience. On the other hand, low self-esteem can feel like walking in a fog where every path seems daunting and filled with self-doubt. It can lead to negative thinking, which in turn can cause anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. The roots of low self-esteem often lie in our past experiences, particularly those from our childhood. Negative experiences, such as bullying, neglect, or failure, can plant seeds of self-doubt that can grow into a tree of low self-esteem if not addressed. Importantly, our self-esteem is not set in stone. It's not an unchangeable part of our personality, but rather a mental state that can be improved, and this is where cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, comes into play. CBT is a powerful tool that can help us identify and change the negative thought patterns that contribute to low self-esteem. Now, you might be wondering, how does CBT do that? What makes it so effective? Well, stay tuned, because in our next section, we will dive deep into the fascinating world of CBT, exploring its principles, its techniques, and how it can help you boost your self-esteem. Understanding self-esteem is the first step towards improving it. And remember, you are worthy, you are capable, and you have the power to change your thought patterns and boost your self-esteem. To boost our self-esteem, we need to understand and change our thought patterns. This is where cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, comes in. CBT is a type of therapy that helps us understand the link between our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It's based on the idea that the way we think about ourselves and the world around us shapes how we feel and act. The core principle of CBT is that our thoughts are not always a reflection of reality. We often interpret events through the lens of our own beliefs and experiences, which can lead to distorted thinking. These distortions are like a faulty filter that colors our perception of ourselves and the world. They can make us see things in a more negative or critical light, which can contribute to low self-esteem. One common cognitive distortion is all-or-nothing thinking, where we see things in black and white terms. If we make a mistake, we might think we're a complete failure instead of recognizing that everyone makes mistakes. Another distortion is overgeneralization, where we take one negative event and see it as a never-ending pattern of defeat. For example, if we fail at a task, we might think we'll never succeed at anything. CBT helps us identify these cognitive distortions and challenge them. We learn to question our negative thoughts and replace them with more balanced and realistic ones. Instead of thinking, I'm a failure, we might think, I made a mistake, but that doesn't mean I'm a failure. I can learn from this and try again. CBT is a powerful tool because it empowers us to change our thought patterns. Instead of being trapped in a cycle of negative thinking, we can break free and cultivate a healthier self-esteem. By changing how we think, we can change how we feel about ourselves. CBT provides us with tools to identify and change the negative thought patterns that contribute to low self-esteem. So if you're struggling with low self-esteem, remember that you have the power to change your thoughts and improve how you feel about yourself. It's not always easy, but with practice and patience, you can make a positive change. Recognizing our negative thought patterns is the first step towards changing them. Let's see how we can do this. Our minds are often filled with automatic thoughts that pop up in response to certain situations. These thoughts can be positive, neutral, or negative. Unfortunately, when we're dealing with low self-esteem, the negative thoughts often take the front seat. These negative thoughts, or cognitive distortions, can come in many forms. You might recognize some of them. I always mess things up. No one likes me. I'm not good enough. These are examples of overgeneralizing, where we take one instance and apply it broadly, and personalizing, where we blame ourselves for everything that goes wrong. So how do we start identifying these negative thought patterns? One effective technique is keeping a thought record. Whenever you're in a situation where you feel your self-esteem taking a hit, write it down. Note what happened, how you felt, and the thoughts that ran through your mind. For example, if you made a minor mistake at work and thought, I'm a total failure, write that down. Once you've written down your thoughts, it's time to identify the cognitive distortions. In our example, "I'm a total failure" is a clear case of overgeneralization. You're taking one mistake and blowing it up to define your entire self-worth. This process might feel a bit uncomfortable at first. It's not easy confronting our negative thoughts. But remember, recognizing these patterns is a crucial step towards changing them. As you continue with your thought record, you'll start to see patterns. You'll identify common situations that trigger your negative thoughts and the distortions you often lean towards. This awareness gives you the power to challenge these thoughts, which we'll explore in the next section. By identifying our negative thought patterns, we can start to challenge them and improve our self-esteem. Remember, our thoughts are not facts. They're interpretations and perceptions that we can change with practice and patience. So let's keep moving forward on this journey to boost our self-esteem. Now that we've identified our negative thought patterns, it's time to challenge and replace them. This step is crucial in cognitive behavioral therapy. It's about questioning the validity of our automatic, often negative thoughts and finding more balanced, positive alternatives. This is known as cognitive restructuring. Cognitive restructuring might sound complicated, but it's essentially a process of questioning and altering unhelpful thoughts. It's about learning to be your own detective, examining the evidence for and against your negative self-perceptions. Let's break it down step by step. For each negative thought, ask yourself, is this thought based on facts? What is the evidence for it? And what is the evidence against it? This is about separating fact from fiction, reality from distorted perception. Often you'll find that your negative thoughts are not wholly accurate. They are tainted by cognitive distortions, like overgeneralization, where you might take one instance and apply it to all similar situations, or black and white thinking, where you see things in extreme, absolute terms. Once you've challenged the negative thought, the next step is to replace it with a more balanced, positive thought. This is not about blindly repeating positive affirmations, but about finding more realistic, evidence-backed alternatives. For example, instead of thinking, "I always mess up," you might replace it with, "Sometimes I make mistakes, but I also have many successes." Remember, the goal is not to eliminate all negative thoughts. That's neither possible nor healthy. We all have moments of self-doubt and face challenges. The aim is to develop a more balanced perspective, to recognize your worth and abilities, and not let occasional setbacks define your self-esteem. The more you practice cognitive restructuring, the more natural it will become. Over time, you'll find yourself automatically challenging your negative thoughts and replacing them with more balanced ones. This is a powerful way to boost your self-esteem and enhance your overall mental well-being. By challenging and replacing our negative thoughts, we can boost our self-esteem and live a more confident, fulfilling life. Remember, change takes time and practice, but every small step you take is a step towards a more confident, happier you. Today, we've learned the importance of self-esteem and how to boost it using CBT techniques. We've seen that self-esteem is our own perception of our worth, and it's influenced by our thoughts, feelings, and experiences. A healthy sense of self-esteem is crucial for our overall well-being, while low self-esteem can breed self-doubt, negative thinking, and can even lead to depression. We've also delved into cognitive behavioral therapy, a therapeutic approach that focuses on changing unhelpful thought patterns, behaviors, and emotional responses. CBT is grounded in the understanding that our thoughts directly impact our feelings and behaviors. By altering the way we think, we can change the way we feel and act, ultimately improving our self-esteem. We then explored the process of identifying negative thought patterns, also known as cognitive distortions. These automatic thoughts can significantly undermine our self-esteem. Recognizing them is the first step towards change. We also discussed a practical exercise, the thought record, which can help us identify and challenge these distortions. Following the identification of these negative thought patterns, we learned how to challenge and replace them. This involves scrutinizing the evidence for these thoughts and finding more balanced, realistic alternatives. The process of cognitive restructuring allows us to replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations or more balanced thoughts. In essence, boosting self-esteem using CBT techniques involves understanding self-esteem, learning about CBT, identifying negative thought patterns, and then challenging and replacing these patterns. Each step in this process is crucial, and they all work together to help us build a healthier sense of self-esteem. Remember, improving self-esteem is a journey, not a destination. It might seem challenging at first, and progress may be slow, but as with any skill, practice makes perfect. The more you practice these techniques, the more natural they will become. And over time, you'll start to see a positive change in your self-esteem. So keep practicing and always strive to be the best version of yourself, because after all, you're worth it.